Thank you, Michael. All right. My chat up here. Okay, cool. How's everybody doing? Thanks, Michael. This one's for you. This is water droplets on a can. So I know you've been wanting to do it. So let's get started. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll just start a new scene. Bloop. New project. I've got my scene set up here. I'll show you how to create this in the new workshop I'm working on. It's a really nice, super simple infinite floor. Let's go ahead and go to our asset browser, choose can, and we've got a couple cans to choose from. We'll choose this, do the fat boy here. Throw that in. Okay, zoom in because it's tiny. Our set is huge. It's fine. We need to create a new aluminum material, so we'll just say, let's do Pepsi. So we'll do like a blue. Make it metal, and a little bit of roughness and a little bit more IOR to it. And we'll just throw it on the whole can because we're not really too worried about that. We're just showing off how to do the sound. You don't have sound? What? How to do the sound? You don't have. There's sound coming through. I can hear it. I can hear it. I can, right? Yeah, you guys can't hear me? You should be able to hear me. I'm getting audio levels. Okay, thanks, Rin. Okay, cool. Yeah, so water droplets. Okay. Okay, yeah, the stream's probably a little delayed, so if I like to take a second to see your chat or something or respond to you later, it's because I get it a little bit, there's a little bit of latency. Okay, so water droplets. Let's go ahead and just model the droplets. We're just gonna model them and throw them on the can. So we'll start with the key sphere, not a cube. Gigantic sphere, water droplets, probably like 0.15 centimeters, right? A little bitty. And we're gonna just bring it down here, and we're just gonna take a look at this little guy here, and we're gonna change it to a hexahedron so it distorts a little better. It's gonna have these nice polys, square polys rather than triangles. And then we're just gonna go ahead and add what is called an FFD. So hold Shift and select the FFD, which is my favorite modifier. It allows you to just like move things around without making them editable and stuff, so you can like edit things in a non-destructive way. So you can basically just use our selection tool, and you can just like warp things around. A really cool way to model. And you can adjust like how many points and stuff you have. So really neat way to do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our area selection tool here, and we're just gonna click and drag and select all the bottom and just pull that up. And there you go, you got a little water droplet just like that. And if you want to, we can take this and make a copy of that, and we'll take it and let's go ahead and just let's rotate above, and we're just gonna grab the top of it and we'll stretch it out and maybe pinch it in, hit T. So it kind of looks like it's been like dripping a little bit. It's a couple of those, not too many. We really want more of these, so we're gonna copy that again as well and just kind of create some variance to it. We'll pull this in a bit, maybe we'll hit spacebar to go back to our normal tool and just make it a little smaller. Yep, and then overall we'll just shrink it down so we have some variation here. This one's probably a little too big here in the middle. We'll shrink it down too. I like this big drop though. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you. 34. That's a good age to be, I feel good. Doesn't feel old. All right, can. So now we've got all these spheres here. These are all of our droplets. All I'm gonna do is add a cloner and take all of our droplets, throw them in the cloner, take our cloner, set it to object. And then for our object, we're gonna select our can here. All right, it's gonna automatically set it to surface distribution. We're gonna crank this up so we can see these. And you can see that they're like coming in all weird in this weird angle, like little mushrooms or something. So we just need to rotate those. So what we can do is we can change the up vector here to -X, and that's gonna fix a lot of these, but not quite. Let's try Y. This is what I do. I think we do -X, right? And so they're all sticking out like that. Then we go into the transform and we rotate them -90 degrees this way. There we go. So now they're all resting on the can, but I actually want this droplet to be going that way. So let's see if we can, yeah, that's gonna be this. Y? Ooh, Y negative. There we go. So now we got our drops coming down. Perfect. Okay, so what we can do is add a random effector here to this, just so we have a little bit more variation. We don't want anything to move that much. We'll say like 0.5 and 0.5. No, not on the Y. 0.5. Nah, but things are getting off the can. We'll just leave that position fine. Scale is really what we want to change. We'll say 1. There we go. But we're gonna go into our cloner, and we're gonna enable scaling, and we're just gonna shrink everything down because I want things to be a little smaller. So we'll shrink all of our droplets down like that. Thanks, Thomas. That's my age shot. Cool. Nice. So now basically all we gotta do is up our count on here till we have like pretty good sweaty coverage. And don't worry about, being too much, because we can handle it. We can handle a good amount. 5,000, it's going to get a little laggy, but our spheres aren't really that high poly or anything, so that might be a little extra. We'll come to our cloner and change this like 0.5. And here we go. Very sweaty. And we're just going to go to the, we could just type in water here and grab the Redshift water and bring that in and just throw that on our spheres. On the cloner, I guess. I never know what to put on that. I never remember. So we'll just drag it on all of them for fun. Okay. And then we just need to add some lights. So we'll go to area light. We'll add a null real quick. Animation target. Grab that null, put it in the target. And now we can just pull our area lights around. We'll do a nice, pretty big overhead one. Like very gigantic. There we go. And then we'll do one from sort of the front. If you guys have any questions or anything, or, holla. This should be a pretty straightforward one. I'll change this to like 20, change this to 50 and 100. Oops. Boop. And we'll scroll down here in this view. And we'll just bring it down to kind of, oops. The target just lets me move these lights around way easier than, trying to rotate them. What's up, Dustin? Thank you, sir. We'll do a backlight on the back side here like that. Yep. We'll pull this up so it's not on the floor. And it should look decent. Let's see. Let's take a look at it. That was the test one I did earlier. Let's see what this one looks like. My render's been going super slow today for some reason. Hey, there we go. My lights are far too bright. But you can see how that is working. So we'll come here to all of our area lights and turn them down to like 10. I think my big overhead light was blasting it out. That's really what the issue was, because I didn't turn it down. But yeah, there you go. Water droplets on your can. Yeah. I set my camera over there. I forgot I moved it. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So now we can add a Redshift camera, which I've put over here in the custom palette. And let's go ahead and do some depth of field on this. I'm sure you guys are curious about the new depth of field and the way that works with the whole new optical setting and all that jazz. So we'll do like an 85. Yeah, maybe even 100. Okay. And we'll go to Redshift render options. We'll go ahead and have that IPR going. We're going to go to the optical tab. And so the way that the new depth of field works is basically you have two modes, EV only and filmic. And so EV only means that you can control the aperture and stuff without it affecting the way your camera actually receives the light. So like filmic would make it more like a real world camera, where if I take my aperture way down, everything's going to get super bright, right? So, hey, no problem, Scott. Thanks. Glad it helps. So basically, the filmic mode is how to set your camera up to work like a real world camera, where aperture, shutter speed, all that stuff is going to affect it. So if you're familiar with that, it's pretty great. But EV also works really well to allow you to kind of cheat reality and create depth of field without messing with your aperture and stuff like that. So also kind of awesome that it can do that. Let's go ahead and take this overhead light and turn it down to like 2, because it's gigantic and blowing this out. On our white floor, we could also change our floor color, but it's fine. So what we want to do is go into our camera optical settings, and what we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and use this little icon right here, which is like basically the focus distance, but inside the render view. So we can just click our actual object right here. We'll say probably right there. Well, let's do a little closer, like right here. And nothing's going to happen right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to turn on bokeh by checking this little checkbox here. Boop. And then we can twirl that down if we want, and that's going to give us the options to man, I really need to get like dual graphics cards and stuff so I can stream and render all at the same time. It really slows it down because I use the GPU to stream. But basically this gives us aspect and spherical aberration. Aspect's going to be like anamorphic, basically, like, so if you want your stuff to like blur like this, it's going to be more like cinematic. Like if you're using an anamorphic lens, you're going to increase that aspect. But spherical aberration is going to be basically what was the old COC, circle of confusion. Basically, it's the amount of blur. They should, you know, the amount of blur. So you can see already we have this really super shallow depth of field, and that's because we are using, you know, a very, very small focus distance with an 85mm lens on an object that's very small. So if you want this to be bigger, we need to up our aperture. This is how you're gonna do this. So if we say like 16, our window of focus should grow a little bit. So we'll type that in and grow. So the lower the aperture, the tighter the depth of field, the narrower the depth of field is. And see, so now we have more in focus here. And so we come in and we can really open it up. And obviously these numbers are crazy. This wouldn't work with like a real camera and stuff, but that's what's cool about this, is you can make your own little macro shots just by messing around with this. So you go, we get a little wider depth of field with a bigger aperture. Pretty cool. It's like that. And also you could, if you'd like this, but you think it's like becomes too intense too fast, you lower this down. So we can say like 0.2 for the spherical aberration. So now we're going to still have this small range of stuff in focus, and then we won't have as big of a blurry fall off as it falls off. So it might be a little nicer looking here. But yeah, there we go. And if you ever want to, there's a nice trick on Grayscale Gorilla where they, I like to use the render view because I do a lot of things with matrix objects and stuff. So like stuff that renders in post, like displacement and stuff, doesn't show up in your viewport, so you can't click on it. Like if you're using Redshift displacement, but you does work inside the render view. So if you have like displacement that's like really high, you can still click on it with this button here and it works. But one thing you can do is you can go to your, like you can create a null and basically take this null and go, where is it? Is it, make sure you're in the object mode here. And then we can go to the place button here, which is like right here. And let's say, let's zoom out here. It is going a little slow because I do have a lot of cans. Let's say you want to focus right on this droplet right here. So you can just click this here and click and hold until you get the little icon popping up. There it is. And it's going to place that null right there. Okay, so it's going to put that null exactly where we want it. Possibly, if it's working. It's a little laggy. But yeah, we can just click and release right there. And it should place that there. I don't know why it's doing it down there. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Guess there is a little delay. There you go. So now it's placed it right there. And so now you can go back into your camera, grab that null, and just put it in the object here. And now it's going to base that object, that focus distance on that object. So wherever that null is, it's going to be in focus. Hi, Marcus. Hi, Mr. XO Comp. Yeah, fancy. And then we're going to, you know, hit render on this, and your depth of field will be right where that null is. So as long as we can like move our camera around and stuff, and it'll always keep that point in focus. So if we don't like the angle we have, we can change it and keep that spot in focus. So it's kind of a cool tip, rather than like trying to say I want it to be 12 centimeters, and then we move our camera and it's like, oh, actually I want it to be 6 centimeters and all that stuff. So you can keep things in focus. If you guys hear like saws and things going on, it's because they're working on our basement. So I apologize. Yeah, I think my lights are still really bad, but we'll just turn off these area lights and see what the dome light does on its own. So my area lights are blowing this out. You have a question? Yes. Go ahead, Marcus. Yeah, there you go, Michael. That is how you can add droplets to a can. Do I have the water texture on my droplets? I do, right? No, I apparently deleted it, and that's why it looks weird. I guess I accidentally did that. Along the way. That should do it right there, right? can ask a question. I don't know how long the chat delay is, so if I've said that twice, you've already done it. Sorry. It's really lagging. Which one is best for learning Blender or C4D? Honestly, it doesn't matter. You know, I want to learn Blender because there's a lot of cool stuff in Blender. It really comes down to what you want to do and like where you want to get a job and stuff. For me personally, let me turn this off so I can throw these on here real quick. I think if you're gonna do a lot of MoGraph stuff, like I think that's where Cinema 4D shines. You use NVIDIA Broadcast to filter video audio? I don't. I use OBS, but I use NVIDIA's encoding during it, so that probably is. I mean, I'm using GPU. I'm running the internet. I'm running this, and I'm rendering out. I could probably turn off my preview. That would probably help some performance. There we go. But yeah. As far as Blender versus Cinema 4D, there we go. Now our water droplets are back. Cool. Yeah, that's it. And so now, you know, obviously we move further away. Our depth of field isn't quite as strong. So again, we would just go back into here and turn this back to 1, turn this back to like 4. Which one is easier for learning? I don't know. There's a lot of free content out there for Blender. And there's a lot of free content out there for Cinema 4D, and there's a lot of paid content for C4D as well, and paid content for Blender. If you're gonna do stuff, if you're just starting out in 3D, it's tough. You know, I learned Blender first, and then I learned C4D, and then I learned 3ds Max, and then I went back to C4D. If you're gonna be modeling and stuff like that, how would I put a label on the can? The new way or Material Blender? Oh, probably the new way. Yeah, the material stacking would be a very easy way, but it depends on the label. Like I have some renders I did for like a company. I can't show them because they're prototypes, but it's just a Photoshop. It was before material stacking, and it worked well. Just have an alpha channel for material blending, where I just had the text on one and text on another, you know, that kind of thing. All right, so that's droplets on the can. Any questions about that? Pretty cool. Back to Blender versus Cinema 4D. We'll look cool with the Pepsi logo under that. Yeah, let's put something. I could put an effect. I put an Effectatron logo on something, but I don't want to mess with all that right now. But yeah, that's the effect of droplets for sure. It might be easier, just it depends, because a lot of times cans and stuff have the same like material finish across the whole thing, so you could just put a you know, one material on there that has it all. But some things have like different finishes and stuff. It's really whatever the client gives you and whatever works best. Material stacking would be fine. Also material blending, they're literally the same thing, just a different way to do it. Blender versus C4D. You know, I am torn because I want to tell you to learn C4D because that's what I teach, but I also want to tell you to learn Blender because it's free. And if you know, are just learning 3D, it's a lot easier to start learning Blender and figure out if you like doing 3D or not, you know, because C4D is a big investment to jump into. It's cheaper now than it used to be for beginners for sure. But basically, I mean, if you are just, you know, curious about learning 3D and you're like, I think this is something I would enjoy, start in Blender. A lot of the same, the shortcuts and the hotkeys. I know you fainted. A tutorial series of C4D. I have some, but I'm actually beginning a workshop. Yeah, it's 12-week for absolute beginners for Redshift and C4D. For absolute beginners. Yes. So you'll be able to never have opened Cinema 4D or Redshift before. Come in and let me just show you some things you're going to be making. Okay. This is one. I've got some things open, you know. How about that? we're gonna learn how to. That looks pretty good. I mean, Redshift is nice. Like, that's the one thing. I haven't used Blender's cycles enough to know how nice it is. Look at that, it's amazing. Blown out. All right, let's turn this off, turn this back on real quick. Let that render. It's just freaking out now. It was working earlier. Let me look. That's the wrong one. I meant to open up week 2, right? This is where week 2 is lighting, and we'll learn how to make, you know, stuff like that. Here we go. Just for this, yeah. So we'll learn how to light interiors. Have I tried Redshift and Blender? Just barely. It's clunkier because it's so similar but so different that it's frustrating, you know. But yeah, we'll learn how to do interior lighting in here. It's just obviously like an early one. I didn't finish out the window or anything yet, but we have the background there and stuff you can see. We're going to learn how to do car lighting. We're going to learn how to do studio lighting. We're going to learn how to do product lighting. And all this stuff is going to be in week 2. So week 1, we'll learn user interface, all this stuff. And by the end of week 1, you will have a project that looks like this. So you'll never have opened Cinema 4D, and after 1 week of tutorials and some projects, you'll be able to make this or something similar, different color. I'm going to really encourage you to create your own spin. So very cool. This is like something that Cinema 4D has that Blender doesn't have, is the dynamic placement tool, which is fantastic for just moving things around in a really cool organic way. So pretty awesome. That's some week 1 stuff. You know, week 2 we're working on, you know, cars and interior lightings and just all kinds of cool stuff. So how to light stuff like that. It's too much. What did I render up there? Yeah, that is too much. Red car paint. Yeah. We'll learn how to make materials like car paint and stuff later on when we get to materials. How to get those nice flakes and stuff in there. Pretty cool. And everything that you see is actually going to be available to you. Like, I don't use paid renders and stuff like that, paid models. I'm not a big fan of that business model. Like, I understand it. A lot of people do it because it looks really nice, and it's like, yeah, you can make this stuff, but everything that you're going to work on and what you're going to work with is going to be free and available to you. So we're going to make cool things like that. And everything will be able to follow along. So 12 weeks, and after 2 weeks, you're making renders that look like this and stuff. So pretty cool. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be intense, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm real excited about it. It's very small group oriented and focused. It's gonna be worth it. All right, let's go ahead and make a forest now. Is any more questions about the can, the particles and stuff? I'm also really tempted to learn Blender. I think Blender would be good just for the liquids. If I wanted to make the droplets slide down, would you use a field? No. See, at that point, I'm wondering if vertex maps wouldn't be the way to go and to leave a trail. Then you would probably design it it's tough. I feel like you could do it with an emitter and like a vector field or something. Tracer object. Okay, check this out. Okay, we're gonna try this. It's not gonna work perfectly, but it's just for sake of example. We're gonna grab this cloner. We're going to animate it here, and we'll go down 1 second, and we'll just pull it down. We'll hit W to go in the world space, and we're just gonna pull it down. Is that gonna move things? No. Never mind. I need to do that inside of the transform. Am I still rendering in the background? No, it's just being slow. Okay. So what we need to do is go into here, go to transform, keyframe the Y here, go here. If we pull this down, oh, not the Y. Which one is it? X? No. See? They're all going in the wrong direction. Does that make sense? My brain. What am I doing wrong here? Fix landmine. Yes, X particles could do this, and there are a lot of tutorials on it, but X particles is expensive. But yeah, you can totally do it with. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, we're trying to just show how to do it without using X particles at all. So we'll take an effector, I guess, and go to forces. No, MoGraph effector, plane effector. Hit that on 0. How do I put this? I see that's the wrong direction. And then this, also the wrong direction. I think I've got it on there in a janky way. What we could do is just like hide this can, right? Copy a can, turn it back on, and then this can will just animate the can. Be the easiest way, most likely. Yeah, we'll just pull that down like so. And go to window, F curve, we'll make this can animation. Each, let me see everything. Linear, so we don't have to wait for it to drop down. And then what we'll do is we'll put that in a tracer. Tracer. And then this alternate can in the tracer. And so now we have this like line, right? Should be. If you put a redshift, we'll see if this works. Redshift object tag on it. You'll put capsules on it. And we'll make them slide down to 0. And we'll put the liquid on that. 1 centimeter might be too big. I have a light in the middle of the room there. That's the issue. Let's see if this works. Doesn't look like it's worked. I mean, in theory, you could just model it. Make multiple cloners, so one will animate down, the other will stay static. Yeah, I mean, what I would do, honestly, what I think would get you the result you want is... Oops. It's just to like model just one, you know, just model like a couple water droplets moving on your own with like an effector or something. So let's say with like an emitter, I guess, and just plop that on there and just on, like, just put it on there. The Emerald Isle, I don't know what that is. Trixie Pixels? I've heard of the Emerald Isle, but I can't think of what that is. You can apply multiple materials on alembic files. Like, separate them out? I don't know that you can. Okay, material stack. I'm not sure that you can, though. It doesn't work like a regular. Can I show it with X particles? No, Thomas, I cannot. I do not have X particles. I have it says I do, because I have the demo installed, which I have not messed with at all. I have like 40 days left on my trial, and I have not opened it. Ireland. Okay, that's what I thought. The Umbrella Isle. The Umbrella Isle. Sorry if that's offensive. I'm American. I don't know any better. Drops is soft body. Yeah, because you can do what you could do. You could do drops. Sorry, you could do drops and put them on a vertex map and like have that vertex map go into a ramp to make it white and black. You know, have it like affect the field and then have that be displacement. But really, I would just do like let's just turn this off so everything runs faster. I do like an emitter. Would that work? An emitter. Okay. Got an emitter here. We're gonna make it real small. Two. I'm just gonna do one particle coming out of it. Boop boop boop. All this variation and stuff. The end scale is one's fine. And then show objects, render instance, and we'll put a little. What would be best? Probably just a sphere. Sphere in there. Super small sphere. 0.2 hexahedron. And so it should like come out. Whoa! Blast out of there. Speed 2 centimeters. Boom. Right, and then do a little simulator forces turbulence. Too much. Force, frequency, scale, strength. Too much still, huh? Why is everything flowing away? Scale smaller. Back up. There we go. Interesting. I guess we could do not turbulence. We could just do. That's probably fine though. Drops the soft body. Yeah. Yeah, but that's like a heavy. That's heavy. Can you make the droplets from the likeness of Steve Buscemi? Would be an awesome birthday present for yourself. What? Steve Buscemi. Glad I called that guy. All right. I want this turbulence to work, but I think it's being a little weird. There we go. So if we do that, right, and then we take this emitter and we do what I was doing earlier with the tracer and put it in here, right, and then we go play. We have these tracers follow these, right? Okay. Then we do the render tag, Redshift object tag, capsules, shrink it down, water on the tracer, and then we look at this in the render mode. Stick Blender logo, drops in C40, would be really sweet. Blender logo drops. Oh look, I've got my water droplets here, but they're backwards. Alright, so we go to here, and we say the thickness is like 0.25, and we swap these. Wow, like that. And we curve it like that, maybe. It might be too small now. No. Now they look like little sperms, basically. 0.2, so we'll do 0.2. That should match though. Let's do 1. Yeah, so now we've got these like water droplets with these tails. And so I guess what you would do is you just kind of put a couple of those. You could just animate it, honestly. You don't need to do all that. You know, just put it on here. Place, pop right there. And then maybe push it into the can. We'll say animate. We'll go a second down and we'll just like drop it down. We'll go in the middle here and we'll just kind of do like a off to the side. And then like here, we'll do like a little off to the side there. And we can leave it as smooth. Yeah. And so now if we hit play, we should have a water droplet on here. We should. Does tracer not work? Do tracers not work with just animating objects? I swear they do. Is my can hiding it? Do they not? Do they only work with animations? Like dynamics? I swear they do. I guess. Okay. This is a stupid workaround, but this is gonna work. Take our sphere, put it in a cloner. Just do one. Right. And then get rid of that animation there. So where's our cloner here? Let's isolate this. Okay. Cloner. And we're going to animate our cloner moving down instead, right? Cloner. Back halfway. We'll just kind of like that. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now our tracer. Let me see. Maybe I have to animate it in the transform. What's up, Sharon? Sharon, thank you so much for the tips about the materials last time. It's very, very helpful. Okay, let's see. I might have to do this. I might have to do this like actually in the transform, because the tracer is apparently not working with the way that I'm doing this. I hate the way C4D does keyframes like that. So what I'll do if... Whoop, wrong direction. There we go, Z. Okay, so fingers crossed. We move this down. Right. And then that should... Maybe if we can move it off to the side. No, okay. Like 0.2. Yeah. Squiggle that. Back down, go back to 0. Like that, okay. So now let's stop our can from moving. I really hate the way Cineprody does keyframes. Now we've got... Is that working? Or is that only going to work if it's like dynamically moving? I thought you could just move matrix objects. Thank you. Alright, so, right, but we're not getting the line. So we'll have to figure that out. I assume we just have to do it dynamically for the tracer to work. I mean, obviously we could just draw it with a spline and fake it and sweep it like that. But I really wanted it to work this way. If I swap this with the matrix, there's no way that's gonna work. Right. Place our matrix up here. What is happening? Perfect. That's just, I'm not even gonna worry about it. Let's just move on. I think we could do it. Is that like is the Steve Buscemi thing like a reference to something? Because I do not get it. I'll be honest. Stumped. No, we're just gonna move on. We're not stumped. Water droplets. I mean, the easiest thing would just be an emitter or dynamics. So if we just did dynamics and then, you know, they would fall and have a tracer, right? But take this like a square, right? Why is my square ginormous? Break it down. And we say dynamics tab, we say bullet tag, we say rigid body, and then we throw a tracer on that. Right, and then we hit play. Boom, yeah, it draws, okay. So we could. Dynamics works. But if we take our cube and just animate it moving, like, shoo, right? It still draws them. Now I'm stuck. Why wasn't that working? Hold up. This should work then. Is it just too small? Right? It didn't put it in here. That's all I had to do. I thought just throwing it in there. Thanks. Thank you. It would work in Blender. That's all we had to do was put it in there. We had it all right. It's totally fine. Okay, sphere, place, plop it on the boom, boom. Keyframe, slide it down. Like that. Boom, go back up a little bit. Slide it over and back just a smidge. So now it should go, woo, yes. Now I want it to leave one line. So what we're gonna do is take a null, put it in the sphere, take the sphere coordinates, copy, paste them. Is that gonna work? This should work, right? And then keyframe that. Go back to the sphere. I think there's a transfer tool. I could just do that. Hang on. I could just do this. No. There is a transfer tool. Right, tools. Transfer to that. So now I should put my null right there, yeah? Oh, let's just join. Yeah, so put it right on there. Perfect. Now I just take that, put that in here. Take this. I don't know how, now what? Yes, thanks, Michael. So now I should just be able to copy all this, yeah. So really is what I should do. Copy, paste, identical keyframe. What's the other keyframe at? Frame 12, sphere, copy, null, paste identical keyframe. And then the last one, frame 26, sphere, right click the P, copy, null, right click, paste identical, keyframe that. Now we can grab our null, take it, put it inside the tracer, and just move our sphere out of there. So now when we go back and hit play, we should get. Now it's just messing up, isn't it? Save. Save as tracer failed. Okay, let's try this again. It's not. That's not what it's gonna look like. I don't believe it. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, just because it's inside of this doesn't make it traces. That's the issue. Tracer, object, null, not the sphere. Stupid. Okay, play. Whoosh, render. Water droplet, giant one. We've done it. Unclick that. 0.5. There we go. Stumped? No. Just slow down a little. There we go, water droplet. Obviously you would, push it into the can more if you wanted to, but that's pretty much how you would do it. You'd also throw your water material on there, and you could use your, like, you know, obviously your, I don't want to do that. I want to grab this and move it. I love that you can do that. So now it's like partly should be like in, yeah. And then it's just a matter of like getting the size right here. I hate this window. But yeah, that would be pretty much it. You could also move your null. Your null would need to move. Yeah. You can make it squigglier. Yeah. You just take them both. But yeah, that's what I would do rather than like, you know, figure it all, rather than like building a bunch. Just take this one. You could add another point along here. Anywho's you whatsy. Let's come back here. Move it like there. Keyframe that as well. Yep. Should give us more of a squiggly, yeah. Yep. And then it'll take a sphere, make it smaller. Probably stretch it out. I probably wouldn't even use it. You could probably hide the sphere at that point. You just have a droplet. Yeah, you can make your tracer object just fat here at the top, like a little bigger. Make it like have a little bubble, like that. Yeah. There you go. Now we're talking. Wet, and it would animate. So it starts off smaller, you know. Well, it's gonna freak out here, but it wouldn't really look like that. You'd have to render from the beginning, but it would. Let's see. Hit play on this. I don't know how well it's gonna work. You could do a sweep. I like the Redshift thing because it's just like, I don't know. It just does it at render time versus having it on your scene. But yeah, there you go. You have it drip down. Pretty cool. You just have a couple of those on there. There you go, Michael. The Bushido thing was not a reference. You never use the curve tool? Oh, the curve tool is fantastic. You can make all kinds of cool stuff with the curve tool. Look at that. Water droplet, just like that. And because it's going to fade off to 0, it'll like go away. Oh, that's fantastic. That looks good. You got a couple of those. Turn all of our droplets back on. Boom. You know, you got yourself a render. Just pause this. Hit render. Thanks. Image of him just scrolled on my Twitter timeline. Deeply Python plugin bug. Oh, Python and like espresso and all our espresso. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know how to use any of that. I need to, like, thinking particles. I need to do that. I want to learn how to do the scene editor and stuff. So animated water drops. Well, we still have the winter one. There's like one submission. It's pretty good one. But only a couple winter drops, winter submissions. So now your issue is going to be like how these are going to overlap and stuff. So you have to deal with that. But that's another thing. What I would do is probably like render out a piece of it without it and then just overlay it with it or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'd probably do that in post. But who knows? That'd be the easiest, sturdiest way to do it. All right, let's do a forest. I really like making forests, and I made this gigantic forest here, and just with Redshift assets. But for a cheap, no X particle, you know, no plugin way to do water droplets and water, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. The scene, the scene node editor thing. I think there's stuff in there that is like all that cool stuff you see in Blender that's like, oh, geometry nodes. I think that's literally what it is. That's what the scene editor is, the C4D. There's just no tutorials on it because it doesn't make any sense. It's like so hard. I can't figure out how to spawn a cube in there. I've got to watch something because I'm like, okay, scene editor, plug this in, cube. And like, I don't know how to make it show up in my scene. It has like Greeble and stuff built in, like with algorithms to randomly do it. Anywho, man, that took a lot. That was like a 5-minute tutorial that turned into an hour, but we learned how to animate drops and do that as well. So pretty cool. So this forest is something I made. I love making these. These are so fun. All right, so let's talk about how to make this. So we will do a new scene. Get rid of pyro. Get rid of the backdrop. What we're gonna do is start with a landscape, of course. And we'll add a bunch of geometry to it for fun. Rough furrows, I like all that. And we'll lower the scale down a bit. There we go. We got a nice hillside here. But we need to be way bigger because it's a landscape. So we'll say 6,000 by 1,000 by 6,000. Okay. Hit H to frame everything up. Okay, cool. So now we're going here to the asset browser. We're going to type in tree. What do we want to do? Do we want to do like wintry trees? Like, do we want to do the one I did with... I do like palm trees. But I did a snowy tree one that was cool. There's all kinds of trees in here. None of them are Redshift, but they're not that hard to convert, which is the best thing about it. There's also some like shrubs and stuff in here, which I didn't know. No, 'tis the season. It is the season, you're right. Look, node operator, tree. What's that gonna do? It's gonna make a tree? I don't know. Probably. Snow it is. Fir tree, snowy. Plop. Okay. Place that bad boy right here so we can see it. Yeah. Place. Is it little? It's not placing. Place on here. Just. Okay. Just doesn't want to do that. All right. Here's our tree. We need to obviously convert all of these to Redshift. So they come in as like standard materials. These ones kind of suck because they don't have texture maps on all of them. So like this gradient probably won't convert, but anything that has a texture map will convert, which is nice. But things that use like gradients normally don't. But we'll select all these, go to material, tools, convert and replace all materials. There we go. And let's go ahead and turn on our render previews so that we can see these, even though it will slow things down. We'll just turn them on. And so now to refresh those, we're just going to come in here and change this to 1 and then back to 0. And that should rebuild those, but it didn't. So there you go. Sometimes it works. There we go. Just double clicking it, we'll reload it. Double click. There we go. So you can see that these aren't working that right. So the diffuse texture is working on the tree, but our diffuse was a C4D shader, gradient coming in, plugging that into a diffuse texture, and then plugging that in. So it actually does work now. So it did grab it. It's going to be a little more render heavy. It's not going to be that big of a deal. But if you ever have a C4D shader, you can plug it into the diffuse texture and then into the RS material. And that is how you can get around that. Now, the only issue is that I think you have to use this in the old school shader graph because for some reason, I don't think it works in the new node editor shader graph. So if we open this up and we go to the node editor, right, we say C4D, it's just not there. Gone. Shader. So you have to do it in the old way. Not sure why they did that. Which is a bummer because both this and a couple of the integer node, integer one, no, not the integer one. There's another one that's really cool. That's a Redshift one. That's basically like a multi-layer C4D shader. So you can just have like infinite shaders and mix them all together and stuff. Tiles or bricks for the new node. I haven't even looked at the new node. I do want to look at clouds multi-scattering real quick because I haven't looked at that, and I haven't looked at bricks. I haven't even messed with it. I honestly don't even know where to find it. Bricks. All right, little sidetrack here. We're just gonna sidetrack. Cube. I want a cube, please. Thank you. All right, we're just gonna look at a cube real quick. With brick, plug into the color. Out displacement color. Okay, cool. So we'll do displacement, right? Displacement color into that. Texture, text map, that into, excuse me. That goes into displacement. My music stopped. What do I want to listen to? This is more important. Adrenaline junkie, quirky, chill, happy, hopeful, inspire. How about inspiring? Yeah, okay. That goes into the displacement, and we're gonna go in here and change the negative range to -1. I like to do that for displacement. Actually, I don't. I like to do -0.5 and 0.5. Out gaps mask. Out dirt mask. What does this look like? Let's see. Tile node works well. Cool. I need a wood one. 3ds Max has a wood one. They also need liquid sims and smoke sims that you can cache more than, or your VRAM can handle more than 3 seconds of. What's happening? Redshift, come on. There we go. Wow. Oh, I'm soloing it. Makes sense. Okay, this is like Minecraft. And then we look at the actual texture. We obviously don't want our reflection to be like that. Let's look at it from the side and add some geometry to this. Cube. 50-50-50. Redshift object tag. I wish that... Here's what I wish Redshift would do in the next update. I want, when I do this, when I take this and plug this into this, it should create this and toggle this on, at least. I think it should automatically do that when I plug this into that. It doesn't have to do this part, but I want it to do at least that. Blue 100. Now you should see some displacement pop in here. Let's turn it up a bit. We'll do this. Should be fine. And we'll say like 10. I really want it to pop. There we go. Not super thrilled with that. But I could be doing it wrong. That's better. The auto bump always causes issues. 2, 4. There we go. It's not bad. Alright, so what's this? Let's just plug this into the color to see what that even is. We're getting very sidetracked from our snowy forest. It's impossible. My Blender does it. Is that gonna pop up? Alright, this storm is slowing us down now. I'll turn that back on in a second. I just wanted to look at what the gap out mask was. Doesn't seem to be any different. There we go. That one's obviously different. It's going a lot slower because I'm building previews. Interesting. That clearly just needs to go here, right? Let's put this here. And then we'll go back into editor, preferences, turn this off, because that slows things down like kind of ridiculously bad. Let's get some rock going on. Next. That may want to play a skateboarding game though. Okay. This is the gaps. So what's that bump? That bump mask? Probably also AO. Yeah, let's put it into a bump. Burp. Get out of here. Also, I wish that you could grab this and it would give you the option to add a node, not whatever that does. I don't know what that does. You know, I guess it's this. But I want to just go and then type in my node. I don't want to have to. Anyway, you know, it's just me. Bump. Plop. Do gaps, input, bump, bump. Okay, that's fine. And we'll also plug that the gaps one into the geometry overall tint, and that should give us that AO. And then we'll do the color, back to the color, and then lastly we'll hook our displacement back up, and we should have a pretty cool little brick. That's pretty cool. I don't think I plugged the dirt mask into the right spot, but it's pretty cool there. It looks like wet brick now. I don't know where that goes. Where do you think the good for a fireplace? It is a lot of wishes. I know. It's just a reflection of weight, maybe, versus the roughness. And the roughness is gonna be pretty high. Yeah. Cool. That was pretty neat. So what can I do with it? So I have all these options here. Scale, brick width, brick height, shift, reset, every nth row, texture space, height variation, slope direction. That's cool. So you change the seed. 8. Ah, that's kind of neat. Scale 1. Big bricks. Nice. Scale 0.1. Little bricks. Very nice. So I don't like this weird row in here. What's shift? Thanks, MTO. Would dirt go on the bump map? I don't know. Probably. How do I get rid of that weird row in the middle? Oh, shift is what makes them offset. So if I do 0.5, you're gonna go offset like that. Yeah, that's cool. Reset every 4 rows. Interesting. Balance alt colored period off. Ah, wait, colors. Ah, alt brick. So we can just come in here and make this like green. Interesting. Just slightly darker. Yeah, that's weird though. I guess we just turn off alt brick. Doesn't seem like you have the option to. Gaps, dirt, enable dirt. Ah, it just colors them like that. That's kind of cool. Okay. Dirt texture. Oh. You could flip it. Gaps. You can put textures in the gaps. Gap noise scale, gap size. Yeah, bigger gap size. Let's see. Ooh. Now we're getting like, I'm gonna do like black. Like just this tile though. Remember the scene in which one is it? The end of the Order of the Phoenix for the Harry Potter, where Voldemort's back, and spoiler, Voldemort's back. The Minister of Magic like sees them, and they're in that like place with all the black brick. I always thought that place was so cool looking. It's like black shiny tile brick. It's pretty cool. So we do depth. Is that groove? Small depth. Ooh. Big groove. I like this. So I want these to be the same. Like exactly the same. Can I just... No, I've done it. Click, click, click. I don't like the alternate. The stripe. There we go. Nice brick wall. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't know that that was easier than throwing a brick texture on there. Would have had graffiti texture for the dirt. I don't know. I feel like I could just do an alpha. Like, I could just grab graffiti. We're really getting far away from my forest. Graffiti. You know, throw some tags on there. Do I have any of these downloaded? Thought I did. But they had a free one. Yeah, but you could totally just throw this on there. Yeah, you could just throw it on there on top, material stack it. Like, new material, we'll just do a noise. Right, we'll do some like, we'll just do that. We'll just do what it is. And we'll do output 0.5, 0.5. But then the opacity, and we'll make this like gold, right? Something like that. Now we should be able to just throw this on top. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Do you have the membership to Quixel Bridge? I don't. I'm real close to buying it, but see, I don't ever make things for freelance work, so I don't really feel like I need to pay for it because I don't give the Quixel stuff away. For Fridge, right now I don't get paid to use it, so for now I'm not going to, but it's definitely something that I love because I like once they add trees to it, I'm 100% in. But it's pretty cool. But yeah, there you go. You could add some graffiti on there. You obviously could just do a little flat and then do a UV map, shrink it, and just do it on the front if you wanted to. Move it over. There we go. Graffiti. Neat. Quick nudge commercial work. Right. I don't do that. I'm lucky that way in my eyes. So let's say we just do like blue and it's not metal. It's just like, you know, paint. There you go. Graffiti. But obviously you can do that with like a texture. It would be awesome. Okay, so that's cool. Brick. Now, what's the other one? Tile. Does it work the same? Oh, God. I don't like this music at all. Get out of here. It's not inspiring. Give me chill music. Here we go. Christmas. Oh boy, that's beautiful. I assume this is just the old C4D tile, but it's tile now. I'm not gonna, I mean, basically we just want the grout to be white and everything else to be black. And then we want it to be way smaller. There's my, yeah. Wait, this one. Oh, this one. There we go. Yeah, that's UV. 3, 3. Oops, smaller. So this goes smaller actually. So it's not like a texture map. There we go. We'll do that. Double width's too big. And then what we'll take this, put in a invert, right? Yeah, invert. Do a displacement. Input. Bop. Bop. Okay, and then we just take what, like an imperfection map. We're really getting far away from our trees now. Imperfection map goes on the roughness. Yep. Should have a nice tile though. Yeah. Just like that. Add a light in here. You can see. Whoa. I hate when I think I grab it and I'm whiffing it completely. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool tile there. I'd probably do this map and add a ramp. This is my favorite feature of the node editor right here, is I can do this and go and plug it in. Oh, that's fine. Flip it and reverse it. There we go. Now we have a nice shiny tile with some dirt and grunge. Yeah. There we go. Obviously this light's insanely bright. But yeah, pretty cool tile floor you could make right there. Just like that. I guess that's neat. I feel like the coolest feature of that would be to like flip this and use it as like a wireframe kind of thing. You know? Like, put in the opacity. Boom. Now you've got a cage. Anywho, get rid of this. Get rid of that. Back to our tree. Kitchen background. Yeah. Yeah. You could do a countertop. All kinds of stuff. Okay, let's get out of our camera here. Tree. We like tree. We need to fix tree to make it more redshifty. So this one is not the coolest one because the leaves don't have like a good texture. They're needles. But that's fine. What I'm going to do is plug this into the Redshift material, then go to the backlight, translucent color, and I like to turn the weight up to that of 1 because leaves always like let light through, right? And that's what this does. This is one thing that the Redshift material has that the Redshift standard material does not have. This music sucks. Playlist. Sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear it, so it's bothering me. My Skillshare music. Here we go. Nice. So basically, this is going to allow that light to kind of come through there. And then one huge trick to save you time, this one may not work so well, but if you have, I'll show you it anyway. If you have something, okay, cool. If you have something that is like a leaf cutout texture, and you have it on a tree and you have like a bunch of leaves and you go to render it, it takes a lot longer. All you got to do is add what's called a sprite node. And basically what this is going to do is you take your Redshift material, plug it into the sprite node, and then you take that, plug it in there, and it takes all those like alphas and it like basically thinks of them as instances, so it renders it out so much faster. I covered it in my Redshift masterclass, but sprite nodes are amazing. Okay, there we go. Snow. There's probably a lot going on, more than we need to have going on in the snow, but we're gonna add a little bit of that too and make it like blue. That'd be cool. There we go. Cool. Okay, so that's pretty much our tree. We see we've got our bump map and stuff going with the tree. We can go ahead and hit render on this tree just so we can see what it's looking like here. And it should look okay. Yeah. Works for like if you download something from like Daz that has like their hair is like strips, polygon strips and stuff. Anything that's like a polygon strip, sprite node. There you go. Snow on our tree, pretty good. Cool. I don't like our snow, but what are you gonna do? Roughness for sure. Roughness, no reflection. And we'll make it like just, yeah, tiny bit blue. Snow reflects a little blue, I feel like. Okay, anywho, there we go. There's our tree. Tree's good. Now, go back to our landscape. We want to put this all over our landscape, so we're going to go to Cloner and Matrix Scatter, my favorite thing in Redshift. And we're going to go to the object, go to mode, choose object, and we're going to choose our landscape. Then we go to the Redshift object, go to particles, choose custom objects, and grab our fir tree. There we go. And now we can go back to our Redshift object here, objects, selection, count, and we can do like, let me save real quick. Save. We can do a lot. It handles a lot. Save, tree, stream, 2. Okay. So I did 1,000,000 earlier. It was a lot, but we're gonna start with we'll start with 50,000. There we go. So it's gonna create all these boxes, right? And each one of these boxes represents our tree. So the first thing we're gonna need to do is go into our dome light here and change it to something like a sky. So we'll just go into our asset browser, use the sky, and we'll grab like sunset. No, this one. This one seems nice. Morning sky. Plug it in. And then auto, I feel like auto was pretty close with this, but we'll do the scene linear rec 709 as well. But here we go, we're good here, and we're gonna go ahead and hit render on this because right now we can't see what direction our trees are going or anything. But the benefit of using the RS matrix versus a cloner is you can go way higher and it doesn't slow down your scene. Like our viewport's still gonna respond instantly. It will take a long time to render still because it's a lot to render, but way faster. All right, so we can see we've got our trees. And they're all, what, sideways? Can't tell. They're all being weird, that's for sure. This is supposed to be like a 30-minute stream. That's okay. Yeah, okay, so my trees are one huge. We'll do 1,000, cut it back. We can figure out which way they're facing. Yeah, they're all laying down on the ground. There, we want to orient them to face upwards, so we can always mess with the vector, which is always such a nightmare to do. And then rotate them, what, 90 degrees this way? No. 90 degrees this way? I never know. No. It's just always confusing. Why? Nope, see, why is that the same? Z? 69mega.com. Ooh, I get to ban somebody. Pornography reported. You have no power here. Put user in timeout. There we go. Get out of here. How do I like remove them? Hide user on this channel. There we go. Don't click that link. Okay, so we want to orient this upwards. And my brain can't ever do it. Can you guys, is this something you guys struggle with? Drama. I know, live, doing it live. Ah! We've done it. Yay! Look at all these trees. Okay, so now we have trees standing everywhere. You know, there's 1,000 of them. They're way too big. I want it to look like a really super dense forest, right? Save. You got them facing the right way. What we can do is we could add the tree. I like to add in the tree that doesn't have snow on it as well, but I think what I'll do is I'm just going to copy it and delete the snow. We'll throw that in there too. Matrix object and add that one. And so that should just give us that same tree without snow, right? Yeah, there we go. Cool. And so now we can go to the particles distribution. We don't want sequential, we want random. That way they're not alternating one than the other. So now it's going to be random. Cool. And obviously if we want more than the other, the way to do that is just like with the cloner. You just copy. You can't just like add. We just would say take the snowy one and we say control V. Control C, control V, and then select that one as well. So now there's 2 of the normal ones. There we go. And then what we do is we go to the matrix object, go to simograph effector, random effector, and that's going to affect that. And we want it to affect these a little bit, but not on the Y. We can shift them around, that's fine. A little randomness to the. That seems to be lifting them off the ground because of our rotation. No, not too. This seems okay. We'll just do that. Rotation we definitely want. Now we want to make sure we rotate it on the right axis here. This looks right. Spin them around, and then maybe like a little bit of wobble room on these axes. And the scale multiplier is great. Yes, we'll definitely want to do that. But we'll do it here too. So we're gonna say uniform scale, and we're gonna say 1, maybe 2. No, 1's good. That way we have some variation in our area as well. And then we have our matrix object here, and we can scale everything down to like 0.2. So it's smaller, and we'll take a look at this. We also could just shrink our trees down, but we'll do that. Yeah, see, that's the issue with the scale multipliers. We'll put it back to 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to shrink our trees down so that they stay on the ground. I'm just going to shrink them down like so. We're going to take one, make it a little bigger, and another one and make it a little smaller, just so it's even more random, even though they're all the same. Okay, now we can go in here, render view. It should be smaller. There's going to be some really small ones and some really big ones, obviously. There we go. That's more the size I'm looking for. Those ones are too small. That's silly. Random effector 0.5. Why are some of this so small? Oh, 0.5. This is a good one. Yes, the bend deformer. No kidding. I'm like strength, angle, strength, angle, strength, angle. Yep. Okay, so that's cool. I like this. Save it. Now we can just go in and just add a whole bunch of these. So we'll go to object, and instead of 1,000, we'll do 200,000. Bam. And the cool thing is, our viewport is super smooth and responsive, even with 200,000 of these. But real quick, let's turn that off, and just to get our lighting set up real quick. We've got our light coming in very back heavy, which I don't mind, but we're gonna take our dome light and rotate it around. So it's coming in from more of the right here. Yeah. And then we're gonna add a null, and then we're gonna add a light, infinite light, and we're gonna use the target, animation targets, and grab that null, put it in there, because infinite light is a pain in the butt to aim. So I'm going to use the null to aim it, and I'm just going to pull it over there. It's automatically going to be aimed over there. We'll turn our dome light off so we can make sure this is indeed working. Right, so we'll say we want it to be a little lower because it was really casting long shadows. Perfect. Let's up it to like 5. Yeah. Color temperature. We'll do like kind of that. It's kind of evening-ish. Maybe it's more like 5200. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll put the dome back on. Make sure those match a little bit. I don't mind that. We'll take this white and we'll turn it to just a sort of greenish, nasty green, brownish. It's gonna be on our landscape. We're not gonna see it because we have so many trees, but we just don't want it to be, well, you know what? White was fine, you know, it's snow. What am I doing? Just make it white. You can even add a little reflection in there. Really, really up the render time. Shouldn't do that, but let's do it. Okay, save it. Turn the matrix object back on. And let's just take a look real quick at what 200,000 trees looks like. Percentage of particles for each object in the Redshift tag. So if you wanted to be 80% one tree, 20% the other, it would be easy. Yeah, I agree. Instead, you have to say like 5 copies of this and 1 copy of the other, you know? And there you go. Trees, lots of trees, a ton of trees. Good one. Feels like Stranger Things. There you go. You got forest. Super dense forest trees, high detail trees you could fly into. I love how easy that is. I love it. Look at that. You could have a little bird here, you know, on this tree. Do a little Redshift camera action. Be like, oh, look at this little guy right here. Turn on the bokeh. Music flag video with copyright. No, I pay for this music. It's licensed. I have my channel cleared. It's pretty cool. Soundstripe. Soundstripe's fantastic. I use it for all my stuff. Yeah, I love nature scenes, man. This one's fantastic. So yeah, we can click on this little guy and should be able to focus on it and get the rest blurry. Obviously, it's going to render faster when you're not live streaming, but it does take a little bit. I mean, you are rendering out 200,000 trees with probably a ton of needles each on them. It's actual geometry. But versus, you know, I mean, this is all just stuff inside of the asset browser. What I could do is, you know, take one of these trees, and like for this fur, like this one, that's the copy. Maybe I could just change, you know, tweak the color of it, you know. And I could just say I want this to be darker. It should be darker. They don't look all the same. Sunset. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's rotate towards the sun. Where's my sun? Here? There. What I could do is, instead of having the null be where I want my light to look, I'm going to have my light look directly into the camera. So wherever the camera goes, we'll get a nice lens flare. That should work. Yeah, this should update. We'll refresh it. There we go. I'm inside my tree. I'm just going to back out. And we're going to turn off the bokeh real quick, just so we can see. And obviously, we could add in some environmental fog and stuff in here, which would be a nice touch for a snowy scene. Really makes me want to watch some Bob Ross. It used to be when I worked at a studio that it was a real bad environment, right? It was awful. It was incredibly toxic, right? And so my wife and I worked there together, and she's an editor and I was in production, and we would come home at lunch and just watch Bob Ross because it's like the only thing that our brains could handle to calm us down. Like it was such a bad time. But all better now. Yeah, the snow is it's kind of weird that the other trees don't have any snow on them. So I think I'd need to do another variation of snow. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I think what I ended up doing was coloring the one that the snow was on. But yeah, you could add some extra variation there, change it up. Could you use a spline to cut a path through there? I thought about that. Okay, so let's mess with it. Because what I would like to do, is come in here, right? And check this out. Vertex paint tool, right? Paint tool. Right? And I can just say, let's say I want to go whoop, just like that. Paint. I want to paint on this landscape. And I would say paint like that. Turn this off so I can see what I'm doing. Now, this should work. I've done this before, and it's not working right now. So we go to type in vertex map, okay, and all I can do is I just go color. I know I can do this. Apply. Sure. Nice. I've done this before. So I just need to be. What am I doing wrong here? I just need to make it editable. So then I can come in here, right, with my tool, shrink it down, and let's say I want to make like a river. Okay. So now can I go to my matrix object? And use this to drive it. No, that's not where I put it, apparently. That won't work. Oops. What if I do this? Nope. I feel like there's a way. Is this not it? What if I do this though? What if I go to selection and enable scaling and I turn that down to 0? Is that going to shrink down the ones in that selection? Not, is it? I mean, obviously we could do this with like the instance tool and stuff, and it still will work pretty well. It just slows down your scene a bit comparatively, but it clearly didn't work. But I feel like there's definitely a way, right, that we can do this. Do we need to use an effector? That's like a shader, right? I don't know. Now we're getting. Now we're getting just. Nope. Invert. I don't know. Plane effector with negative scale. Plane effector. Oh. Plane effector. Parameter. Position. Scale. Uniform scale. -1. Two matrix with plane effector, making scatter 0 in the vertex area. Then the second one in the opposite. Well, how do I set the matrix to the okay? Plane effector with negatives. So what do I put this here? Is that it? Or do I need to swap it around? We need to invert it. Invert. Doesn't seem to care. Is it just too small? Turn the random up. Also, turn the count down to like 1,000 so we can do this faster. So putting one on there. There's still one right there. Turn this off. Turn off scaling. What about that? Is that the option I've been looking for here? Restrict to selection. And then non-invert it. And you would think that would do it. No scaling, 100%. Enable. Wait, where's it go? It went away. Where was it? So when it's not enabled, you can restrict it to the selection. But when it's enabled. You want me to put it on a what now? A vertex on a field effector? Okay. Matrix object selected, MoGraph effector. Where do I make a field effector at? Where's field, right? Is that gone? Am I just missing it? Am I looking in the wrong places? Field force. That's not what I want though, right? Plane effector. Greater than field. Okay. Plane effector. Okay. We got this one. And you're saying to put the vertex map here in the selection or the field? Field. And what? Just put it in there. Okay. What's this? Turn this crap off. Disable that. Let me check that. Okay, so in theory, we shouldn't have any dots on here, but we still do because our plane effector isn't doing anything, obviously, right? So what we need to do is what, negative, do I need to do absolute scale? -1. Is that how I would do that? Okay. Look at that. Okay, now let's up our count. Go up step by step. 10,000. 50,000. Guys, we've done it. You guys. You did it. You bloody did it. Oh, we can put in a river. That's cool. You can just paint it. Look at that. It's like a little path here. Let's make it fatter. Vertex map. Paint tool. Fatter radius. Chunkier. Even chunkier. There we go. And then over here we'll have like a campground here. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Just erase the matrices as I painted live. I think I missed a spot there, but that's okay. Voila. Yeah. That's really cool. So now the question is, could you use something like an animation to create your vertex map, and then you could have it like a draw, and so then basically, you could have an object draw on your vertex map. You could have it like fade away with like a decay. And you basically create the scene from like Shang-Chi where they're going through the forest, staying in the pocket. You know what I'm talking about? Shang-Chi was great. You know what I'm talking about, yeah. That is cool. And we can turn our random effector back on. It should be fine. And we can put a river in. Or like I'm on fire. Why not? Let's put a big, just like a big fire. Why not? Like it's crashed in there. Pyro for fun. Trees that grow on the field. Exactly. There we go. And then we do a little pyro, create redshift material, pyro volume, throw that on there. So I guess I could take my landscape. I could use the vertex map to draw, like make that water material, right? Of course. Freaking pyro. Jerk. Get out of here. Look, I'm going to change my bucket rendering even though I'm not even using bucket rendering. It's still not going to work, huh? Poop you. Let's try again. Let's just do one fireball. Why am I doing a fireball? Nope. Broke it. Pyro broke it. That's for you. All right, well, that's cool. So then you could just grab that texture, throw it in here, make a river. Go down in here. In our river, right? If we wanted to, if this was our river, right? Will it work now, or do I need to reset? No, it's good now. Yeah, obviously I could have want my random effector to come back into play here. These little bitty trees. I need to make sure there's no fall off. The vertex map, when you draw it, you got to make sure it's hard edge, or else you're gonna get little bitty trees. But yeah, so I guess I could just take water and throw it on the material on the landscape. We'll just do that instead. We'll just make it like blue. It's ice or something. Yeah. There you go. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You could fly through there. You want it? Yeah, it's nice. So confused where I ended up putting the vertex for the scatter. Me too. That looks good though, you know. So where I put it was on the plane effector. Instead of the fields, I just threw it straight into the fields of the plane effector, and it created a vertex tab, which is, you know, not an option here, of course. But it is here called variable tab. Even though it doesn't say vertex map, it is apparently an option to just throw it in there. So you just toss it in to the plane effector. That's cool. You take this, put some noise on it, right? Noise. Little max on noise. Toss it on in the old bump. Bop. I wish this would just be here. Like, you know. Anywho. Get out of there. What does that do? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that did anything. What a beautiful river scene now with a teeny tiny tree here and there. But yeah, 200,000 trees or 100,000, wherever we ended up with, but pretty cool. You can carve your own path live, animate it. Very cool. Watch this. That's cool. So you can like make a smiley face, you know. And then come down here with a nice big smile. Perfect. Look at that from above. It'll look like crop circles. It didn't work. I probably need to like refresh it or something. I don't know. Now if do I have to re-add it, you think, because I've changed it? It drew it last time. No, I just don't even know. I've broken my mind. Can you add parametric vertex map? Can you throw objects in there too? Pretty fun to play with. Off topic, of course. Can I throw objects in where? The matrix scatter? Yeah. I could. If I wanted to. Probably. Oh, let's take a look at this cool car that you'll learn to make in week 2 because it's fun. Little blender, but then I replaced the material with the car paint material, which the car paint material is wild. But, woo! Woo! That's sexy. Look at that. That looks good. Pretty cool. Yeah, just learn how to make car paint and light cars. In the new master class, of course. That's not a master class. What do I call it? I need a name for the workshop. Porsche. Very fancy. This model is free from Blender. Not Blender, Sketchpad, but it was on Blender. And I had to take it into C4D from Blender. But that is spicy. Is this the color car paint? Yeah, here we go. I love car paint though. Pigment color, let's make it purple. Oh, let's do gray. Gray's cool. Here we go. Oh, but let's give it like a crazy fall off of like blue. I should make it more blue than gray, yeah. Swap these two. Like that. Maybe pink. There we go. Take the curve factor up. Ooh, yeah. Anyway. Redshift black belt class. It's not bad. It's no more than Redshift though. It's Cinema 4D. It's everything. It's Cinema 4D. It's Redshift. It's like for people that just buy Cinema 4D and they've got the bundle with Redshift. Because if you're using Cinema 4D, you should use Redshift or Octane at least. You shouldn't use the normal things in there. Unless you're doing sketch and tune. Yeah. Colors are crazy. Ooh, that's cool. Also, like a good classic orange and red is always a good one. Yeah, swap them. Wow, like that. That's cool looking. Green and pink, maybe. It's Hades green and just like an orange, yeah. Million car. Anywho, slow this down. Bam! More orange and red. Yeah, wild. Yeah, learn to make a lot of cool stuff. Headlight glass when light is off. Well, I can turn the light off. Don't yell at me. Which one is it? There we go. Look, watch. There you go. Headlight glass. C4D intro something. Too dark. What do you want from me? It's a blender material. The material's taken over. It's fine. It's perfect. Looks good. Ah, I like it. Now it's perfection. I like the light. I like bloom and light. I need to change my lights around because it was lit up for the back angle shot. But anywhoosy whatsy. Dustin, we used your go both in the class. I'm gonna advertise those, you know, hashtag ad. I already showed my interior, right? Yeah. Working on that. Did you guys know that there's like a lot of cool stuff? Oh, clouds. That's what I want to do. There's like a lot of cool scenes in here now. Did you know that though? If you come to the asset browser and you type in just Redshift, there's like all these nice tables and stuff. And then there's rocks and sticks, of course. But there's actually entire scenes in here now. A lot more materials. They're kind of weird. Some of them are good. The wood is good. These ones are strange. I don't understand what I'm looking at with some of these. But like this, like an office space and this living room couch. Pretty cool to open those up and reverse engineer them. They do not render fast. They're not, but yeah. So we'll learn how to do interior lighting and stuff in week 2 as well. Week 2 is a lot of lighting, but it's pretty cool. Basically, every week is full of a bunch of tutorials and projects because rather than just like listen to me, you know, tell you this is exactly what the bump map does. And then the next video is like, this is what this does, which is what my material masterclass is, which is great for reference and stuff. But not my favorite style of teaching. And so I like to like make something. So by the end of it, you'll have like, I don't know, 20 something renders or something. So basically you'll have a reel done that you can show off to start saying that you can do 3D. And it'll all be stuff that you've made that you have access to that looks great. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be dope. Yeah, I mean, for a scene, this looks, I mean, that looks pretty good. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Sassy. With free objects, all this stuff is inside the asset browser. Which is cool. But yeah, the Redshift scenes are pretty neat. They just take a while. But clouds, last thing we'll do before we stop this stream, which has gone on far too long. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I might chop it up. You know, is my last stream available? Because I never know how YouTube works. I think I need to download it and upload the VOD rather than like being able to do it. I also, everybody uses Iridian's point cache, so when I hit render, it has to do this weird thing, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Iridian's point cache. It bothers me. Like an extra step in the way. But yeah. But we should, the scenes look pretty cool. They just take forever to render, which is kind of interesting. But it's fine. But they look cool. Good to reverse engineer them, but like, see what I'm saying? They take forever. They're not optimized. But I mean, they look dope. Free to reverse engineer, see how they do the lighting and stuff, build it in, grab the materials. It's pretty cool. Pretty fun. Okay, clouds. Let's look at clouds real quick. This is fine. We'll actually leave my backdrop here. Let's go ahead and go to Redshift Objects, Redshift Volume. No, Redshift Objects. Yes, Redshift Volume. Path. Where are all my VDBs from all my downloads? E. Oh, see this off stream. Don't look at my organization. Don't judge me. Clouds. Road. Days. Fluffy dense, fluffy scatter, light and fluffy, long and wispy. Nice puffy clouds. Here we go. There we are. Preview points. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look at, go to model, object mode, scale this down. Okay, here's our fluffy clouds. And we're gonna go to create Redshift material volume, throw that on there, and link it all up. Preset, Redshift volume builder, absorption, preset, nothing, emission, nothing. Okay, so where is this new multi-scatter feature? Is it just built in to the scatter efficient? Seems like it. Oh, they added black body, which is cool for fire and stuff. Seems like it's just built in. Advanced, old, range, basic. Maybe it's just built in. Let's take a look. Light and puffy clouds. Let's add a light here so we can see infinite lights. Can never tell which way it's pointing. To the Z and then down like that. Light up our clouds a bit more so we can see them. Well, it doesn't look like there's any option really to do any kind of super scattering that I can see. What's in here? No. Up that and up that as well for fun. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just built in. You guys know this existed? I didn't know. I haven't opened this yet. Hold on. Let's look at this on stream. Cloud, right? Down here, there's a scene called Clouds. Okay, these are fake. They're pictures. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't a VDB thing. Those are just images of clouds. Okay. All right. Yeah, there we go. Matrix scatter, clouds. I put it in there like it's going to do something. That's not how it works. VDBs. Let's just do a grid. Boom, like this. Oh. Maybe a couple layers of that. Like so. And like that. And then we took this. Bop. Let me pull that up. No, pull this up. Yeah. Yeah. Render. Maybe mess with samples to speed up renders. Yeah, I mean, I think they have like the defaults, and I've switched over to it. They've got it all set up with like to high, obviously, which I don't have denoising on. I haven't tried that yet, the Intel denoiser. Has anybody tried the Intel denoiser yet? Let's try it. Let's challenge it versus optics. Ooh, do the VDBs not work inside the matrix? That's interesting. You guys have to put in a cloner or do this? No. No, just me. Interesting. Who knew? Intel's for people without GPU support. CPU only? Right. But if the CPU is denoising, doesn't that give you more power to your GPU? Can it go at the same time? Look at that, it's perfect. Optics. It seems to be fast. How accurate it is. It's fascinating. Cloner. Boop. Doing. Minimize it. Alright, now I'm just messing around. You test for optics, Intel was way slower, similar quality. Interesting. I want Redshift real time to be actual real time feedback. 3, 3, 3. Just spread this out. 500, 500. There we go. And they've got a big old cloudy sky. It's beautiful. Don't even know what I'm doing anymore. This is why I need to stop streaming. But thank you guys so much for tuning in on my birthday. I appreciate all the happy birthday wishes. And be sure to hang out on the Discord if you're not a member there. Definitely join that. It's been a lot of fun. I'm still working on the workshop. I've got week 1 and 2 scripted out and created, and the projects are created. Week 3 is going to be materials. That one's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot to download. You're going to get a lot of cool stuff along with the course, as well as like materials, objects, scenes, presets. Because honestly, there's a lot of stuff that I wish was in Redshift that I'm going to create and just give them to you. That's part of it. Thanks, y'all. All right. I'll be on Discord if y'all, I'm going to play some games, I think. Take my brain off it. Live streaming, it takes it out of you, but it's good. I like it more than tutorials because it's faster. That took, a little over 2 hours. When I do a tutorial, it takes a day or two, So, I like that. But yeah. Woo. It's stormy. It's stormy in there. Anywho, I really want to figure out how to do a tornado in what's it called? Pyro, you know. I need to stop though, right? I should stop. We're gonna try it real quick though. We're gonna put pyro on this. Pyro, right? We don't need temperature. We just want density. Play. Okay. I like that. Pyro minus like 40. I want to really go up more. Boom. I just want this to swirl. Anybody know? Simulate forces rotation. You would think. Put it on the Z, right? And maybe we'll do like a force, and we'll do like a wonder field. Or I'd rotate that. Oh God. And bring that up and make that bigger. Like this. Okay. Go. Swirl. That's really cool though. What is that? Round 3. What? Yeah. Minting NFTs? Yeah. Yeah, I have minted one with like OpenOcean or whatever it is, the free ones, using Meta Mask Box thing. Whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not into NFTs. It's above my head. So more went? Is it just me or is it not twisting right? Okay, hold up. Pyro. Yeah. Did they change rotation so it's not rotating on the Z anymore? Is it on? Oh, clearly it is, right? How do I visualize it? Do I do wind? This doesn't look like it's rotating in the right direction to me. Right? Am I crazy? Let's make less smoke. Smooth the smoke. And we'll go here. We'll make less smoke here. Boom. Okay. Let's make more smoke. Whoosh. Brain. It's like this. Let's just see what without that is it. Okay. Okay, thank you. Go away. Thank you. Go away. Stop it. Back to this. Let's do 8. Back to this. Rotate it this way. So the Z is up this way. That's it. Now we're talking. Back up to -10. Back into a cylinder field, which we rotate. And then grow and expand and then slide down. And we zoom in on this so we can see what we're doing. And it's going to be a tornado. Twister. It's pretty close. Rotation. Is wind wrong? Force? Yeah, now it's just too fast, right? Angle speed. That seems like a twister. Volume tag. I need a pyro tag. I do need to put the shark in there too. Come on. I should just get some shark models and toss them in there. It's a pretty good idea. I don't have them on. Density. Then I should make a donut. I should do a donut though. I think we're on to something here. Pyro. 12 maybe? Should be discrete. No. Pyro. Voxel size 3. Don't need that, I don't think. Turbulence. Maybe it's 2. 3% density suspicion. Now we're talking. Oh. Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. This is looking cool. Now when I go to render it, it won't render, but that's fine. I did render. Not quite tornado-y. More rotation. Is force the right thing to do? Stop. No, I can't test it. Do I know what I'm doing? No. Gonna go. How do I make it? Oh. That's probably a twister. Cool. Alright, so we need like a little a little wind up, right? I guess I just can just do this though, right? I can just take this and be like -50. Right? And then the rotation going like 80. Boom. You raise up. This is looking cool. Oh my god, I've done it. We've done it. It needs to be like sort of dusty. No, dirty. That. Maybe a little scatterier. Less absorbier. Right? Okay. Render. We put a little farm, a couple cows flying around, a couple sharks. Crank the turbulence? You think that's what it needs? Maybe. I want to have like clean kind of spirally lines though, you know? I don't know. Maybe you're right though. I'll try it. Let's render this and then we'll try it. It's still getting like pulled away so fast. What in the weird renders thing? The noiser. That's on optics. If I do wind. Is this? It's on here evenly right now. Okay, that's big. That's a problem right there. Here's your problem. Right there. And then the rotation, is that? Yeah, okay, that was right in the middle. Okay. That was probably why it's flying off more one way than the other. Nope, still doing it. Fascinating. It's definitely whipping around. Turn this up to like 10. 10. And then this down to like 1. Question on the matrix scatter. Did I miss how the trees to stand up straight? Change the transform -90. And they're all upright, but some are still angled to the terrain. Yes. So I had to change the up vector to like y minus or something. I don't remember, you know. It was, you change the up vector. It's right above like the surface, choosing surface or volume stuff. You do that and then you do the transform. So you choose the up vector first. I don't know if it's like proper way to do it, but that's how I did it. Ah, shush. I mean, we're close to something. It's just being weird. Set the density to 2. Surface to 10. Okay, we're gonna break it now. Okay, ready? We're gonna add a sub-step. Save it as Sharknado. I spelled that completely wrong. It's like sharpenable. Okay, cool. Did I add wind? I didn't. I did add wind. Or it seemed to be even more like. Well, now it's too much. But maybe that was the secret. With my mouse off my desk. Oh, see what happens there. While you do this. Of course. What are these fields even doing? I don't know. We're close. We're close. We're trying too hard. We're trying too hard. Go back. Shut up. Go back. Like an explosive carrot. Like ice cream. Make an ice cream cone with an explosion at the top. NFT. Print it. Mint it. Print it. Yep. Just like that. Just say, yep, ice cream cone. Yeah, of course. All right, cool. All right, I need to stop. Stop. Just save Sharknado. It's perfect. No, don't save home office. No. Yes. Yes. All right, cool. All right, y'all. Look how messy my desktop is. It's awful. Full of gaming snapshots and stuff. Random renders. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I think I'm going to play like Ranch Simulator or something mindless like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I appreciate it. And I guess I could put my face over top of this. Hold up, watch this. Thanks for watching, for real. And I'm actually done. Thanks for the happy birthdays. It's been fun. We did a lot. We made water droplet cannons. We made a forest. We figured out how to carve paths in the forest. And then we did some other things. We did a water droplet. That one was cool. I liked figuring out the water droplet. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. If you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know. Write comments and things. It helps out. I'm going to try to see if I need to download this and upload it as a VOD. And the last one as well. But let me know if you like this kind of content as much as, like, you know, short form YouTube tutorials. Obviously, those take more time and stuff, and I will do more of those. But right now, I'm focusing a lot of my time on the workshop to get those videos done. So, cool. All right, Dustin, Sharon, Michael, Mr. Exocom, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and all happy birthdays, Ryan. See y'all next time. Later. Bye.